In case you didn't know, the rapture is a theological and eschatological concept held by some Christians, particularly in evangelical branches, which holds that when Jesus descends from heaven, the dead who lived Christian lives will be resurrected, and the believers who are still alive will be raptured, or taken from earth along with them, the resurrected believers, to meet God in heaven. A girl named Azrael is in the forest making a bracelet for her boyfriend when she suddenly hears a noise. Azrael and her boyfriend Kenan were part of a sect that believed speaking was a sin, so they had their vocal cords removed to stop talking. That sect is now looking for her to sacrifice her. Azrael gives the bracelet to her boyfriend, and then they hear a noise. They separate and she is captured by two men. Her boyfriend is also captured, and this is how the story begins. Welcome to Random Recaps. In this video, I'm going to recap the movie. The couple is separated, and Azrael is taken to a place in the forest where Josephine, one of the leaders of the sect that Azrael and Kenan were part of, is waiting. Josephine wounds Azrael's leg to attract creatures called the Burned Ones. These are demonic, humanoid creatures drawn to human flesh and blood. Josephine and her followers turn their backs and wait for the creature to arrive. One of them comes for Azrael. She struggles to free herself, and one of the followers notices and tries to stop her, but Azrael manages to attack him. His blood attracts the creature, which devours him mercilessly. Azrael frees herself and flees. The sect members believe the creature caught Azrael, but soon realize she escaped. Walking through the forest, Azrael decides to rest and clean her wound by the river, wondering what might have happened to her boyfriend. As she tends to her wound, she encounters one of the Burned Ones, drawn by the blood.
Run, bitch! Run!
She manages to cover her wound in time for the creature to leave. Continuing through the forest, Azrael finds the sect's fenced camp. She decides to infiltrate it to find her boyfriend, but upon entering, she discovers the bracelet she gave him lying on the ground, implying her boyfriend might be dead. Josephine and her followers arrive at that moment. At the camp, there is a church where a pregnant woman named Miriam leads the group as a spiritual interpreter, believing that the wind carries the will of God, which she hears through a hole in the wall. Josephine tells her she failed to capture Azrael, and Miriam hits her. Azrael hides under the church but is found by Josephine, who tries to strangle her. However, Azrael, being a total badass, manages to get rid of Josephine and escape. Josephine warns everyone in the camp about the intruder. Everyone makes noise and starts searching for her. Azrael desperately tries to escape and eventually succeeds. She runs through the forest until nightfall. Tired of running, Azrael rests on a rock, leaving blood behind, which attracts one of the Burned Ones. But it's not just one. Several creatures begin chasing her through the forest. Azrael runs until she finds a man driving a truck. He asks if she's one of the survivors and tries to help her. The man asks why she's bleeding, but since Azrael can't speak, she gets in the truck and signals for him to drive. The man drives and tells Azrael that he lives at the end of the road and has food, but she doesn't understand. She shows him the scar to explain that she can't speak. On the way, a sect member attacks the man, causing the truck to crash. Poor Azrael can't catch a break. Furious, Azrael attacks the sect member. In a fierce struggle, she manages to grab the rifle and shoot him. Azrael continues walking through the forest, trying to escape from the crazy sect. She finds her boyfriend pinned to a tree, but it's a trap set by a sect member to catch her.
For the love of crud!
Drawn by Kenan and Azrael's blood, a group of creatures attacks. Azrael climbs the tree while the sect member is attacked. The creatures seem to leave, but they return for Kenan. Azrael wants to help him, but one of the creatures climbs the tree to get her. However, since Azrael is a total badass, she ties a rope around the creature's neck and jumps. Tired of the sect, Azrael grabs the rifle and heads back to the camp. Whistling, she tricks Josephine and her followers into leaving the camp so she can infiltrate it again. She goes straight to Miriam to end her leadership, but upon seeing that she is pregnant, Azrael hesitates. Miriam takes advantage of this and attacks her. Miriam incapacitates Azrael, causing her to scratch Miriam's pregnant belly as she falls to the ground. The sect members grab Azrael and prepare to bury her, but first, they cover her in blood so that a burned one near a tunnel connected to the coffin will come for her. Azrael has no choice but to go through the tunnel and try to escape. There, she encounters the creature, which chases her after smelling her blood. She retreats into the coffin. The creature approaches, but when it smells Miriam's blood on Azrael's hand, it stops and leaves. Why?
I don't know. You tell me.
Furious, Azrael manages to escape the coffin. Nothing can stop this woman. Josephine goes to Miriam to assure her that they finally finished off Azrael. But no, Azrael is enraged and sets the camp on fire. The sect members try to stop the fire, but it's too late. Everything starts to burn. Azrael, with the rifle, begins taking them down one by one, wounding Josephine. Terrified, the sect members flee the camp. One of them confronts Azrael, but accidentally shoots one of his comrades, giving Azrael the opportunity to finish him off. Azrael goes to church to fight with Miriam, but Miriam attacks her from behind. Miriam and Azrael engage in an epic battle, where Azrael pulls a Goku move and bites her enemy. It seems like Miriam is going to lose, but then Josephine arrives to help her. Meanwhile, Miriam goes into labor. Azrael takes the opportunity to attack a distracted Josephine. Josephine tries to fight back, but no one can beat Azrael, the goat. At that moment, the cry of the newborn child is heard, though it's a strange and eerie cry. Horrified by the sight of her son, Miriam takes her own life. The baby's cry attracts the creatures to the church. Curious, Azrael approaches the child. The creatures enter the church and scream at the sight of the child's birth. A goat-like creature, essentially the Antichrist. Azrael smiles as she holds the baby, realizing that with the baby, she can control the creatures. And that's how the movie ends. If you're wondering why the sect wanted to sacrifice Azrael, there were some drawings in the church and one of them showed Azrael. Maybe the supposed god who spoke to Miriam asked her to sacrifice her since she was the only one who could fight the demons.